A Latino military vet is not expected to survive after he had a scuffle with our friend Sheriff Joe Arpaio's officers. This is a horrible story. Ernest Atencio was injured early Friday morning, hours after the Justice Department released a report which accuses Joe Arpaio, this Arizona sheriff, of running an agency that regularly violates the rights of Latinos. And it's not just general poor treatment, Louis. It seems to be very specifically targeted at brown people. And we know from his policy on immigration that the guy, let's put it this way. What can we say? I don't want to make any personal statements, or rather statements about what he personally feels about Hispanic Americans and people from Mexico, etc. But he's never done anything legislatively that would suggest he has the utmost respect for minorities. Is that fair to say?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Lewis doesn't care what I say. That's the reality. And there's a lot of questions here about exactly what happened. Police took him into jail, and he was seen kicking the door on an apartment and then harassing a woman walking down the street. The cops brought him to jail on suspicion of assault, processed him, took him into the jail for holding, and then he began struggling with officers. So they put him after tasering him 4 times, they put him in a cell. Later, they found him unresponsive, and it doesn't look like he's going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, will this be ruled a homicide? The real question is, why isn't Sheriff Joe under indictment? And what's interesting is Dennis Campbell, when we spoke to him earlier, said he believes by the time of the presidential election, amongst other things in Arizona, Sheriff Joe Arpaio will be under indictment. I mean, we have the unconstitutional jail conditions. We have a lawsuit from the Department of Justice over civil rights, abuse of power violations left and right. I mean, in February 2010, Judge John Leonardo of Pima County Superior Court found that Arpaio misused the power of his office to target members of the Board of Supervisors for criminal investigation. It's a typical case of this kind of narcissism where it's like, I can do whatever I want. They can't touch me.
Right. I mean, hopefully it catches up to him. And this is just what's on the surface. I mean, once there's an indictment, once there are investigations,
right.
I think it's going to be even more shocking.
Well, there are investigations. That's the thing. And there's been an election law violation during July of 2010. The committee to re-elect Joe Arpaio 2012 funded advertisements that were critical of Mitt Romney, and Arpaio was not actively running for re-election. That is actually a violation of election law. Do people go to jail for that? No, but the guy has a long laundry list of these things.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. And of course, who isn't misusing campaign funds at this point? But he's also misusing campaign funds.
No surprise there.
It's almost like the more people that do these crimes, it's normalized. So it's like, well, come on, yeah, but Christine O'Donnell was living off a campaign money for
Everyone
years.
does it, so they get a break when they're found guilty of it.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens there. What do you think about the whole? Have you seen? This is the guy who has the inmates sleep in tents outside the prison, and they wear pink jumpsuits, which we could even go into. Somehow he's decided that pink is emasculating.
Right.
Even his whole way of punishing people already has so much implicit stuff in it.
Yeah.
What do you think of his antics?
He just seems like a guy who thinks he's untouchable. That's pretty much it.
Next thing you know, he'll be sending pictures of his penis on Twitter.
I hope so. Not that I want to see the picture, but it would be very humiliating.
You would like that?
Yeah, sure.
You heard it here. Lewis hopes Joe Arpaio, Sheriff Joe, starts penis tweeting. That's not an opinion you're going to get on too many other programs, I think.
Not at all. No, only here.